No, it wasn't a contest, but it was an experience created by one of the leaders in experimental art, Korean-born NamJunePaik, avant-garde musician, self-taught engineer, video artist.
This robot is almost 20 years old and got arthritis.
It has arthritis?
Yes, yes. And it has not yet bar mitzvah.
And moments later, it had an accident.
NamJunePaik began constructing figures out of vintage television cabinets in 1986. These figures were the fleshing out of the family of poor deceased robot K456. The first figures he created were at once the universal family of man and his own family. The images that appear in the videotapes for these figures are drawn from the worldwide diversity of man's cultural and ethnic families. The second generation of robots created by Paik represent his artistic family, including Charlotte Moorman and John Cage. NamJunePaik's grandfather, Paik Yun-soo, is revered as one of the first modern entrepreneurs in Korea. He was a visionary man who, rather than fearfully run from change, anticipated and planned for the future. The company he started still exists today. NamJune, like his grandfather before him, envisions the future and embraces change.
I will always obey Mother and Dad. I will be extra careful crossing streets. That's not in the script. I will be kind to animals. I will be careful of other people's property. I will clean my plate at mealtime. I will be truthful. I will go to bed on time, and I will always be a good sport when playing with my friends.
In 1964, Paik arrived in New York from Europe. His intended short stay became permanent, and he began a long series of performance collaborations with the cellist Charlotte Moorman. Their most controversial collaboration, which required Moorman to perform in the nude, resulted in her arrest. John Cage has been a seminal influence on 20th century art through his own innovative music, through his collaboration with Merce Cunningham in the field of dance, and through his close relationship with Jasper Johns and Robert Rauschenberg in the visual arts. In 1958, Paik met Cage in Germany. Cage encouraged Paik to come to the United States, which subsequently led to numerous Paik-Cage performances and collaborations. Within the milieu of the new avant-garde in Europe and America, Paik was among the very first to identify the potent possibility and power of television. His sustained belief in the power of the imagination and in the power of freedom in play led to his pioneering appropriation of the television set in 1963. When Paik first began working in television in 1961, the cost of creating a video for TV was prohibitively expensive. So, Paik went in through the back door. Television pictures are produced by the flow of electrons moving in straight lines across the phosphor-coated surface of a cathode ray tube. Paik and an engineer friend interfered with this flow of electrons in a variety of ways. Paik manipulated the images on the TV screen with a magnet and created the first magnet TV in 1965. He also manipulated the TV tube to recreate the moon going through its phases. It is evident how greatly the technology has advanced in the last 30 years. The recreation of TV Moon for 1994 is not a manipulated TV tube, but a laser disc image. In addition, when TV Buddha was first created in 1970, it featured a Buddha watching himself on the television screen. The TV Buddha of 1994 is teleconferencing with himself rather than contemplating his image on television. Teleconferencing is an important piece of NamJune's vision for the future. In 1974, Paik prepared a report for the Rockefeller Foundation entitled Media Planning for the Post-Industrial Society. In it, he predicted much of the technological transformation we've experienced in the past 20 years and urged the creation of the electronic superhighway. In his Rockefeller report of 1974, Paik said, "Video telephones, fax machines, interactive two-way television for video shopping, bibliographies, opinion polls, healthcare, biocommunication, data transfer from office to office, and many other variations of this kind of technology are going to turn the television set into an expanded media telephone system with thousands of novel uses, not only to serve our daily needs, but to enrich the quality of life itself. The building of electronic superhighways will become a huge enterprise." 20 years later, NamJune has created his own version of Cybertown, or small town America in the electronic age. All the ingredients of town life are here: the family home, the post office, the school, and the town hall. These works exemplify the new technology of communication. Cybertown exists as a series of electronic connections linking distant societies. Each work contemplates specific changes in the way we will live, work, and play in the future. NamJunePaik suggests we may very well find ourselves living in Bali and working on Broadway. We will be learning, shopping, talking with friends, playing games, and banking through our TV set. The video tree, more login, less logging, refers to Paik's hope that as more and more messages, catalogs, advertisements are delivered electronically, the less paper will be required and the fewer trees will be consumed. Video Server speaks to NamJune's fears about rampant consumerism with movies on demand, home shopping, and online catalogs. According to Vice President Al Gore, this is, by all odds, the most important and lucrative marketplace of the 21st century. NamJune issues a wake-up call to artists, philosophers, and scholars everywhere to give up our traditional indifference to the television industry and to use the medium for the betterment of society before the government or Madison Avenue monopolize the new technology. According to John Hanhart, curator of video art for the Whitney Museum of Art, Paik's objects express his vision of a small town that is building a new community out of the republic of moving images from the past and present, refashioned through a technology which, in the hands of this visionary artist, speaks to a world of limitless possibilities.